Hey friends, I'm back and I've got a really cool video for you today. So let's talk about content marketing. You are hopefully doing content marketing for your business. You're creating content to market your services. And how are you keeping track of all that content? Let me throw a scenario at you. Let's say you're talking to a prospect and they throw a price objection at you, or they ask you a question that you've been asked a million times before, or one of your acquaintances or business buddies comes to you and they've got a question about something that you're an expert in, and you've got some content that answers that question. Here's my question for you. How long would it take you to put your hands on some content that answers the question that you're being asked? Now, I just came back from an awesome retreat in North Carolina, the $1 Million Badass Retreat, and one of my new buddies made it her mission to stump me. She was trying to ask me a question that I didn't have content as an answer for, and she couldn't do it. She's still trying. Good luck, Rachel. Keep at it. But usually when someone asks me a question, I already have some content that answers that question, and more importantly, I can put my hands on that content quickly. And there's a few things that I use to do that, but I'm going to show you the big one right now, and it's called the pot of gold. So let me dig in and show you what I've created and how it can help your business. So here's the pot of gold, and what this is an archive of all the content that I've created in my business. And I'm going on 7 years this year in business, so that is a lot of content. And if you're creating content for your business and you're not treating that content as the precious asset that it is, then you're losing money, because you're probably creating the same content over and over again. And you could be creating really, really good content and just promoting it well to the people that it's relevant for. So the way that you begin to do that is, when you have an asset, you need to be able to keep track of that asset, and you need to be able to use that asset when you need it. So the content archive is a tool that you can use to track your content and to categorize it and organize it in lots of different ways. And the tool that I'm using for this is called Airtable. If you're not familiar with Airtable, it's a relational database, but it's pretty. So it's not super overwhelming. You can just use a spreadsheet for this, and that's fine. But I'm going to show you some cool things that you can do with this tool. So what we're looking at right now is a view of every field that's in here. And it's a lot of fields. If you scroll here, you can see you've got a category field, a title, a link. For me, I wanted to track what are the different stages of business that people would be in, that this content would be relevant for. We've got freshness. How old is this content? So based on the date that it was published, it'll categorize it as the last 90 days, 180 days, within the last year, or just older than that. You can track how evergreen is the content that you're creating. And let's say you have content that's it's in the process of being created, and maybe it needs to be quality checked before it goes out. So you can track that here. If you've got affiliate content with affiliate links, you can track that as well. And different categories. So if you look at my blog, if you go to carveldigital.com/blog, you'll see that these are all the categories that my blog is organized in. And so you can track things by category. And then, of course, it's important to know, how are people engaging with your content? So you can track how many shares, likes, comments, where it was originally posted, all of these things. And so let me show you how that can be really useful. So let's say you wanted to look at your content in a different kind of view, for instance, in a calendar view, and you want to see, what content has been posted over the last month. So you can get a nice calendar view. You can see we started entering the very video series that I'm creating right now. And you've also got these nice icons to kind of tell you what the primary medium is. So this little TV means it's primarily video. Let's say you wanted to look at more of a Kanban style, and you can choose any category that you want to look at these fields. So let's say right now this is stacked by what the main content type is. not super useful, but let's change it over to topic by category. And now you can see, okay, some categories you've got a ton of content in and some categories less. So lots of really great ways to look at your content. One thing I did about a year ago was I did a big reorganization of my blog content, and then I categorized things based on were we going to repurpose that? Does it need to be improved? Or are we going to take some short articles and can maybe consolidate those? So these are all different views that we created based on those needs. And there's really no limit to how you can organize this and look at it. And it's the same content, but you can look at it different ways depending on what you're wanting to do with it. So this is just an unfiltered view of kind of all the things. And you can see this primary field here is actually built up of a combination of other different fields. So if you look at this, you've got the title, the main content category, the icon here, the QA status, and the freshness. So you can kind of see at a glance what's going on with a piece of content. Is it newer than 90 days? What kind of main content is it? Is it text? Is it video? Is it audio? Maybe you have a podcast that you want to keep track of. So, I mean, really there's no limit to how you can use this. And the last thing I want to show you is how do you actually get content in here? You can actually use a form. You can create a form that allows you to enter in new fields. So instead of, saying add new field, you can go to the form, which I've got open right here. And so you could maybe have your assistant or your virtual assistant just be responsible for, as you publish new content, coming in and adding that content in here. So I hope you can see the potential of this and how it can really help you, one, just be more efficient, right? Being able to find what you need when you need it is key to being able to use your content effectively. And also, instead of spending all of your time just creating more and more and more content, this would allow you to really look at what have you created, where do you have gaps, and really be more strategic about the content you're creating and where you're deploying it. And also give you a better window into, instead of creating new content, maybe promoting the really good content that's gotten engagement, maybe promoting that to even more people. So I've created a template of this content archive for you to use, and I will put instructions in the description below on how you can get this content archive for yourself and start using it today. So who's that one person that you are thinking of right now who really needs to see this, who could really, really use this information and maybe use this template to keep their content together? Go ahead and grab the link and share that with them now. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and click the button to subscribe and click the bell so you get notified of new videos like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.